Well, hello, happy Tuesday. I'm surprising you guys coming on early. New moon, equinox energies, heavens cross portal this week. Change in the planetary conjunct alignment, all kinds of amazing energies going on. And this is moving us into the new. So why am I coming on several hours early? Why have I changed where I'm sitting? Part of this is to honor and celebrate the entrance into spring. I am one who's super excited about spring because I am an avid gardener. I absolutely love gardening, and it just makes my heart sing to watch things grow and to nurture them and be in that heart space. And everything right now is about dropping into the fullness of the heart space. So I thought it'd be fun for you guys to share my window here with my, I've got my sweet potato starts going here. Super easy to grow sweet potato slips, guys, if you've never seen that. Cut a sweet potato, get a nice organic one, cut it, put it in a glass of water, and then watch. And all of these will be able to be separate plants in a pot and grow me beautiful organic sweet potatoes. So, and I have my lovely little baby dragon here, and he's sniffing the flowers. He's loving my spring blooms coming off my plant there in the corner. And it's that regeneration, that movement into the new energy. And I really sat with, wow, do I stick with 11 o'clock? I have other things that I have scheduled for myself today. Could have probably arranged an 11 o'clock I'm going to be over in Truckee, which is maybe about a 35-minute drive. But part of moving into the new earth and the quantum field that's opening up for us, and I see people popping on now, you're still finding me even though I came on at a different time. Well done. So part of what we're moving into is this ability to be in the flow of the heart space. And I've been sharing about it in little tidbits here and there, definitely in my programs and classes. But as that living example of being a guide for you guys of how we are moving into not only the energies, the integration of the energies, being able to accelerate and activate our bodies and then expand and share that out, living in that heart flow. What does it mean? It means you might have stuff calendar, but if you don't feel aligned to it in a moment, can you allow yourself to shift that around and change it up? So by changing the time today, by changing my scenery today, this is really putting you guys sort of on awareness of, are you doing that? Where is your heart aligned? And are you actually allowing yourself to be guided by your heart space? Living that regardless of what external constraints, expectations, calendars, appointments, schedules, all of that stuff says, where can you allow more flow to be in your life? And for me, coming on today, I thought, well, you know, last year on the Equinox, we did a really powerful meditation. It was absolutely incredible. And I believe it was on a Thursday, and we changed day to align with that. And here it's a perfect day. And I sat with for a long time, is a meditation right today? Is a guided meditation with the dragons what's called for today? And what came through was, I'm really not feeling called for a guided something as much as a holding of space in a similar fashion to what ended up happening organically last Tuesday. If you haven't seen last week's live, go to YouTube to the Invoke Healing International Dragons playlist, or scroll down in the group here for the Love of Dragons and go back and listen to last week's again, because that kicked off something that was a preparation for this week's energies and the ability to receive it and really expand into that. And it was such a powerful, what I call now, I used to call them transmissions because they felt like downloads or transmissions where it was coming through. And now the term in the last about 2 years, it's been more of a transference because my reading space has shifted, my body amplification has shifted. And so it feels more like that energy is just transferring from my field out to those that are ready to receive it. And I felt really called that that's more aligned with what's coming in today, that a group meditation isn't the right fit for everybody and what they need today. So what I'd like you to do is, in receiving this today, the big question is, as we go into this new alignment, this will be a turning point for a lot of you, that you look back on this week in your records, you could call it your history, but in your soul's alignment, as a real turning point or shift point, where a notable gateway got walked through, where the direction changed and things became more in flow, things became easier, things started magnetizing towards you in a more powerful way. And so in that, my big contemplation point for you this week is, what is your vision? If your life could be aligned to absolutely everything that your heart desires for you, can you hear what that is? Do you know what that is? And are you allowing that to actually be fully visioned within your heart space, with your intention? Do you sit and allow the vision to be present? Because manifesting it to yourself, allowing that to be what unfolds before you as your path, because you manifest every stone or paver in that walkway before you, you're manifesting it in. So if you don't have the vision of what you want that life to be, how can it actually come in? We allow ourselves, for many, many years, most of us, we allow our story or our pathway to be written for us by bosses, by family, by our kids, by things that we feel like we're expected to do. And it's not bringing you joy. If it is bringing you joy, fabulous. But if it's not bringing you joy, starting to align into, what is my heart really saying? What does my heart really want to be doing? And it doesn't mean that you can have a bridge to that, because it's not about going and jumping ship. Maybe that is your impetus and what comes in for you. That happened for me back in 2002. I had to jump ship. I could feel everything in my body leading me to quit my job. And I thought, well, I don't know what to replace it with. I have a mortgage and animals and all these things. And I went into deep trust. And that was the first footprint of my new pathway. And I look back now and I still see that I created a bridge that was a contract work job that tied me over. It gave me my bill basis so that I didn't feel like I was just floating, that I had a way to pay my mortgage and base food. And granted, I ate a lot of rice and potatoes that year, but it was the landing space that I needed. So you can create a bridge, and maybe you're discontent or not aligned with where you are right now, with how you spend most of your time. For a lot of people, that's their work. Your career, your work, it might be aligned in certain degrees, but there might be a bigger aspect to it that would bring you more joy. And if you're not ready to see and feel what your heart really wants and let that come in, it can never shift. So how clearly can we hold that vision? And typically, another reason I didn't want to do a group meditation was that a dragon comes in that is specific and holds a space for everyone. And I do feel the energy. I went and grabbed the Moonstone dragon pendant today. I don't know if you guys can see this, because we are on the new moon energy today. And new moons are always new beginnings. But this one in particular is really wrapped up within the energies of Equinox, Heaven's Cross, and this conjunct in the planets. So really allowing the energy of that new moon and the opening. So instead of having a single dragon, and I will draw a card for us, although I feel like the moon dragon is really, really present. I would like you guys, especially those that have decks, if you don't have a deck, just allow yourself to feel. Maybe it's a dragon guide that you have. Maybe it's a dragon family member. Maybe it's a dragon you saw in a picture and you felt really resonant with, a water dragon or an emerald dragon. I want you to each choose from your heart, and you can align your heart and draw your card from the deck if you have the deck. Which dragon is going to stand with you to walk through that portal? Which dragon is going to be with you through these 3-4 days that holds the resonant field that you need for that shift point? Maybe it's turning a corner. Maybe it's turning 180 degrees. Maybe you're at a fork in the road and it's knowing clearly which direction to take. and allowing that to be the one that walks with you. Read their message, sit and meditate and call them in. It is your intention more than anything that allows that dragon to come in and be with you. And if we don't take the few minutes to sit, feel that energy, call it forward, and then hold our own vision to have that supported, it really makes it hard for the universe to bring in for us and magnetize to us that which we desire. So, allowing that. I'm going to stick with Moon Dragon. I'm going to find the Moon Dragon card. I feel her presence. And for me, so I can be putting this Moon Dragon forth, but this one may be more particularly mine today. So I'm going to hold that because I'm feeling a lot. I got to join in on a really beautiful Divine Feminine meditation. I haven't gotten to go to group circles directly in person in a long time here in Reno. And two of my dragon hearts have been meditating together and doing stuff, and they were in different year programs. And they're close friends, and they decided to start bringing this meditation with the Divine Feminine energy to larger circles. And so I got to go participate in that and receive from two of my previous students who are part of my Dragon Heart ongoing gatherings, because we're family. That path is walking forward together, and it's so beautiful to see those communities coming together. But I know that the Divine Feminine energy and me stepping into that softness is my next aspect of really allowing the feminine to flower through me, for my heart to open in a greater way in the softness and nurturing aspect that is the feminine. For many reasons, I have been predominant in a masculine energy for many years, mainly as a single mom, holding both roles. But allowing that merge to happen, I have to allow the feminine to really come into her balance. So maybe some of you out there are single moms or feel that masculine pillar so developed and are feeling that call also to feel that feminine. So the Moon Dragon here, I'm going to just hold her, and wow, even the color, I knew I was wearing hot pink last night too. Feeling that hot pink, that magenta of the high heart, really calling me forward. Embrace yielding and grace. Embrace yielding and grace. And what within those energies, feeling the Moon Dragon come and stand at my back, and allowing that even if you have a different dragon that needs to come support you, that today with the new moon, the Moon Dragon is in our field to hold embrace, yielding, and grace for you to receive your vision from your higher self, to receive from your own heart, for many of you from your own dragon heart, that deep internal message of what is truthful and what is your greatest desire to see made manifest in your journey. And what does that look like? It may be simple things like changing your schedule, that you're craving more time off. Maybe it's a 3-day weekend. Maybe it's shorter days and 5 or 6 days instead of 5 long days. Where can you hold in vision? I know a big thing for me years ago was really designing the schedule that I wanted. And I had a coach, soul-based business coach, who was showing me, if you want to work a certain schedule, you have to vision it first. Have you written it down on paper, the hours and days that you actually want to be open for business, open for session or whatever your business is? And darn if really seeing it clearly didn't allow that to be literally what unfolded within a year's time. Probably less than that, but I looked back a year or two later and was like, wow, that's exactly what I have. And every step of the way has been about carving that out and allowing the vision of it, because if you don't vision it and allow it to be in your field of potential, it can't manifest. Possibility and potential are the fields that we're moving into. The quantum field is sitting literally within the field of potential. So with that all around us, and I feel that, ooh, can you feel that coming in? Now, we're actually being pulled. I feel the Moon Dragon doing this. She's pulling us all as if she's like doing this with her wings and sweeping the field of potential into like a sphere directly around us. Feel that energy shift. It's softness. It's like being held. So imagine this sensation of being held in a womb space, just like an embryo, cushioned. It's dark. It's warm. You're in like this moving sea of energy that you glide with, and it's cushioned, and you're just embraced in it. And everything about it holds potential. If that's in your field and you can allow yourself to feel that, and it's the softness that I'm really noticing, it's that embrace, that yielding into the field of potential. Can you yield and drop yourself into it so that you can actually start to not just see what is possible, but to actually hold the intention and the vision to almost solidify that, to bring it into being. Thought forms are powerful. Intention is powerful. You guys know this, but have you ever sat with, why is intention so powerful? It's because it's brought forth out of that field of potential and made manifest because of the energy that you're putting into it. And that's literally what brings the light particles together and brings them into being in matter. So allowing that to be what gets received today, as we have this energy of sitting within a field of potential in this new moon energy. And what's beautiful about it is it's exactly what the earth is going through. This is so supported right now because the earth herself is sitting in that field of potential with everything here in the northern hemisphere, at least, where the majority of you possibly listening are sitting. It's that promise of spring. You can feel the buds about to burst. You can feel the seeds that are starting to feel sunlight energy and wake up from a deep sleep. That's the same field of potential. And so sitting within that, Gaia is holding that space for us, mirroring it back to us. What are your seeds in your garden that are going to receive this light of the sun, this light of the field of potential, this new moon embrace from the moon dragon, and let that be what starts their growth? I had no idea this is where the discussion would go today. But how fitting is it that this is why I feel like I was called to be in my budding corner with greenery and lush and flowers. This plant is amazing. It blooms like 3 or 4 times a year throughout the year, so that even midwinter I have these incredible blossoms. But it's that germination energy that is the basis of the energy flow from the heart, where Gaia's heart is sending that out to all the seeds and all the life that's ready to pop forth as she breathes in. And it's interesting because I'd never really considered this, but she's breathing in and turning that heart up to the northern hemisphere as she pulls it inward, almost like turning and facing, as if she turns in the womb or inside of her core and faces the different hemispheres as the seasons shift. And so she's pulling inward from one to expand and breathe that energy out into the northern hemisphere and allowing that. And so with that as a backdrop, I want you to see and feel the perfect dragon that's in alignment for you today as well, that's going to walk with you through this visioning process this week. Because maybe there's one dragon that you draw out of the deck that is going to show you one little tether, one thing that's still holding you bound to your 3D schedule or strict, unyielding realm. Maybe there's one more piece that can be let go this week in order to feel that path open up. So allowing yourself to just receive that. I find it to be beautiful and really, really different than our normal time together every Tuesday. And with that, I'm just holding the space and vision for each of those in my dragon family who are going to be catching this, whether now, most likely later today when they check in for the live, or on the YouTube or group playback. that what you receive from this and from the energies potently stirring around you today, that you get that inspiration and that true heart vision of the next path opening up for you. Your next steps, even within the path you're on. What are the next steps that open me to be more in flow, to be more aligned to my true self? Because that's really what it is about. Living in flow is just living in perfect alignment with yourself. That's where we get very, very close to actually having the full embodied light body here with us. So just allowing that. I hope you will share stories into the group with posts of what comes up for you this week. And I look forward to, gosh, even my own journey this week. I'm really excited to see what unfolds, especially through the rest of today with the things that I have lined up and created for myself for today. And I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, moving into fullness of the energies of spring. All right, at least here. Some of you moving into the full energies of fall and the internal embrace and the cocooning that will bring for you. All right, have an incredibly powerful week. Receive this, breathe it in, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.